All right, welcome to our first Q&A. I know not everyone could hop on live, so if you're catching the recording, that is completely okay too. But I wanted to share, first of all, answer any questions that anybody had about, this week and what we learned and all of the things around Portion Fix. And I know there were some questions in the group, so I'll be sure to, touch on those. But I'm also going to share just kind of how we do our week, how I simplify our grocery list, our meal plan, our how we kind of navigate all of that, because I realize it can be a lot, especially if you just go into the grocery store with the intent of eating healthy and don't really have a plan. It's hard to know what to get and how to get it, and then how to put it together when you get home. And most importantly, not have an excess amount of leftovers so that you're wasting food, right? That's when it gets really painful, when you buy all these healthy foods and you have intentions of eating healthy and you get them in your fridge and then you don't do anything with them. And at the end of the week, you're throwing away fruits and vegetables that makes your skin crawl, because nothing is cheap these days, right? Also, my kids are terrible today. They're all screaming in the background, so I'm sorry if you hear them. But okay, so the first thing that I do when I'm planning our week, and I do this every single week, I take a little bit of time, I sit down and I start by writing out some dinner ideas. So that's kind of where we start. If you have a week like we do this week coming up, where you're out of town or attending a party or doing something big that kind of changes the normalcy of your meals, that goes on there too. So we're out of town for softball this weekend, so I put those days down first. Like, all right, I know I'm going to be at the campground these days. Here's what we're going to eat. Here's how we're going to do it. That went in there first. And then I filled in the rest of the week. Like, okay, we have practices, we have games, we have these types of activities. So how much time do I have to plan? And I jot those down. And then I actually have a whiteboard that we use that is wet for some reason. And we hang this in our kitchen so that everyone knows what is the plan for the week. And not only does it tell the family kind of what we're having, it helps me pull out the meat out of the freezer for the next day, or, just have things prepared if something's got to go in the crock pot in the morning or whatever. So this has been really helpful. I also will often ask our family, do you have a dinner idea for the week? Does somebody have something that they want to have this week? And then I'll incorporate that into our meal plan, depending on, what day it makes sense for the practice schedule ahead. So I know that on Thursday we're heading to the campground. So I'm still navigating what we're going to have at the campground that day. I just asked the girls what they wanted. I know Friday is going to be tacos with the team. We're doing a big taco dinner. So I needed to fill these in. So Monday we have something that I need to have spaghetti prepared for. So we're actually going to do spaghetti on Monday. We're going to do grilled chicken and carrots on, I really want some roasted carrots. It might sound like a weird combo, but it sounds really good. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do steaks and baked potatoes. And then again, I said, I'm still figuring out Thursday. And then we're going to be gone for the weekend. So we've got a plan with her softball team. So that's where I start. And then when I'm building our grocery list, I will fill in just the things that we need for each of those meals. So like, okay, all right, spaghetti, do we need noodles? Do we need sauce? We pre-buy all of our meat from a butcher, so I don't ever need to buy meat, but I put all of that stuff in there. And that's where I start our list. And then I move to, all right, so dinners are done. And when you're using Portion Fix, you can literally incorporate almost any dinner into Portion Fix. All right, Monday I said we're having spaghetti. So I need to sit down and I need to go, okay, am I going to have noodles? Or sometimes I'll have my spaghetti on spaghetti squash or on broccoli. So those containers matter. So I can, I don't necessarily go to that level when I'm doing this part of my meal plan, but you definitely can as you're thinking through it, right? Like, okay, am I going to have a carb for that dinner, a protein? What is my sauce? That's typically a fruit. And am I going to have a veggie with it? Those types of things. And then I like to basically eat the same breakfast and lunch every single day. So I know I'm going to have my Shakeology. Do I have everything I need for that for my grocery list? Do I need my almond milk? Am I going to have fruit in it? Do I have those things? My breakfast is always eggs and it's loaded with veggies and salsa. So I put down, I put zucchini in there and onion and green pepper and mushroom and salsa. And then again, I buy farm fresh eggs. So I always have the eggs, but I put those veggies in here, anything that we're out of. So I've already got that on my list. That's my breakfast. Then I've got my shake. So we already talked about that. And then I need to pick a lunch. So I know some people need to change it every day. Leftovers are always a great option. I'm not somebody that needs to change it. I eat the same thing until I'm sick of it and then I pivot. So right now I'm obsessed with, I get a rotisserie chicken. I make up a chicken salad with some grapes and some garlic powder. And then I eat that with some almond crackers that I get at Costco. So that's my lunch. So do I have enough stuff? I got my rotisserie chickens on there. I need grapes. I've got that on there. I have enough almond crackers from Costco. So there's my lunches for the week. Then the only thing that I need to fill in is snacks. And this is something that I don't plan out really far in advance because again, I'm not going to sit here and write out my full Monday, like container wise, right? Like spaghetti, 1 carb, 1 protein, and fill out my snacks. That's something that I do each morning. So I like to have just some things on hand that I know food groups that I typically have to fill in are veggies. So I like to have just like cucumbers prepped and cut up, or baby carrots ready to go. That's such an easy grab and go in the car, at my desk, wherever, if I need to get an extra veggie in. So I'm definitely going to put in carrots and cucumbers on here. I did not have those on here yet. And then my kids are fruit obsessed. So I don't really need to plan to have fruit in the house. We just always have fruit in the house. I will definitely load up on fruit as I run to the grocery store today. And we'll have tons of fruit so I can fill in there. I also don't struggle with protein between my eggs and my shake and my rotisserie chicken and my dinner. Like that is my four proteins. I always make a protein for dinner. So I have my 4 servings of protein every day without fail. Like that's not an area that I also have to snack in. But think about you and your meals, right? Does your breakfast, does your lunch, obviously your shake, does your dinner, do they have protein? Do you need extra protein servings? For me, it's 4. Maybe your number is a little bit different. So keep that in mind when you're planning that out. So again, I don't typically plan my day-to-day what I'm going to have every single day for snacks. I just like to have those things kind of ready to go here and prepped. So that's it. I have my grocery list. I've actually been able to pull our grocery budget for a family of 5 down to that like 150 range a week. And I'm comfortable with that. Again, I don't buy meat or eggs. That's not in that budget because we have all of that stuff just in bulk in the house. But that's kind of how we've been managing our meal plan and how we go about it every week. It's helpful. It takes the stress out of, oh, what are we going to have for dinner? I don't feel like having dinner. And I definitely feel that on the days that we don't plan ahead or we don't think about what we're going to do. I did have somebody ask in the group specifically about almond milk and where that falls in the plan. So when you calculated your containers, you got all the colored containers, but often we miss that teaspoon for oils and nut butters. So that is, I don't know why it's called a teaspoon. It's almost like the gray container for me. That is its own category. And that is where almond milk falls. So 8 ounces of almond milk is 1 of your teaspoons. So if you're having 8 ounces of almond milk with your shake, that's where that falls. Honestly, when I first started, almond milk was like my go-to with my shakes, but I legit can do it with water now, especially the Snickerdoodle. Like Snickerdoodle ice water is delicious. I could just make it and drink it and it is so good. And that's actually what I'm going to pack for our trip this weekend. I'll just take our blender, I will take our shakes and I will do ice and water and then it's easy and ready to rock and roll. So I think I answered all the questions that were in the group. If you have any extra questions, feel free to comment on this post in the group and let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I hope that this was helpful. And I hope that you can see, I know that the first time you sit down to do it, it's going to take you probably a little bit of time, right? To craft it out, to figure it out, but it gets quicker. I can plan our meals, ouch, and our grocery list in 10 minutes. And so it really doesn't take that much within the week. And then I can get in and out of the grocery store in 45 minutes because I know exactly what we want. I have the grocery list planned. You know, one of the biggest tips that you'll hear is to shop the perimeter of the store and get as few items out of the center aisles as you can. So I literally just cruise the store. It's 45 minutes from the start to checkout. I do shop and scan so I can see my totals as I go, and it has been so helpful. So thank you for listening into this. I hope you guys are excited about week 1. Please let me know if you have any other questions that I did not touch on, and I can't wait to see you in the group.